This is a Bob Ross painting.
Bob Ross is one of the most iconic American painters of the 20th century. He's best known for his perm, personality, and landscape paintings. The problem is, no one knows where they are.
I'll be your host as we experience the joy of painting.
In 800 feet, turn left onto McLaren.
Just a second. We have technical issues. Let me do better this.
There are more than 1,000 for his perm, personality, and landscape paintings. The problem is, no one knows where they are.
I'll be your...
Okay, Victor. Victor is already here.
Yes.
Are you there, man? Perfect. Let's take notes on the video, man.
Yes.
Because when we are done with it, you are going to speak about the video in your own words.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yes, right.
Let's continue.
Your host as we experience the joy of painting.
In 800 feet, turn left onto McLaren Road.
There are more than 1,000 Bob Ross paintings in the world.
There we go.
But if you want to buy a Bob Ross, you can't. And that doesn't mean people haven't tried. A lot have. And a lot's been written about it too. Because frankly, it doesn't make sense. In a 1991 article in the New York Times, Bob said he had completed nearly 30,000 paintings. So when this guy wanted to buy one for his brother, he didn't think it would be a problem. He couldn't find one at an auction, in a gallery, on the internet.
We don't know.
And sure, there are a lot of paintings out there inspired by Bob Ross.
Tap, 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 roll.
But they're not the real thing. So it made us wonder, where could a collection of paintings worth likely millions of dollars possibly have gone?
You've arrived.
Not a professional box opener. I started in 2017. They were organized pretty well, but it was kind of one of those things where it's like, we need to take all this out and like figure out what is here. And I was terrified of touching these paintings because I was like, these are worth more than me.
So that's where all the paintings are.
Not climate controlled. We got them safe in a room, packed away.
Organized fairly well.
Definitely not white glove service.
They don't plan on selling them. Wasn't really Bob's thing.
It actually has never occurred to us. I guess I wouldn't even know how to answer that question because we've never even really talked about it.
The show went like this. It was 26 minutes long, unedited, and you never saw the finished painting before you started.
He did 31 series, each being 13 programs, each having 3 versions. That's a lot of paintings.
Not many people know that Bob actually completed each painting 3 times. One before the show, one during the show, and one after the show, which is why there's so many of them.
He would write book on the really, really good one. He would mark one of them TV, and that was the slightly not great one. And then the third one would be marked Kowalski for my mother. I don't like this being a movie star. I'm old, you know. I know you want to know what that young guy was running around with this old woman. Guess what? Bob and I used to be the same age.
I'd like to introduce you to my partner and longtime friend, Annette Kowalski. Annette, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bob.
Annette was involved in lots of different art forms earlier than Bob Ross, and I always encouraged her.
No painting is complete without a few daisies. So let's add some daisies. I want nice, clean white. I made all the shirts he wears on TV.
She also discovered Bob Ross, pretty much by accident. When Walt and Annette's oldest son died, Walt signed Annette up for classes with the TV painter Bill Alexander.
You and I, with all our creative power, we will create a better tomorrow. I love you.
But Bill wasn't teaching anymore, so they got a guy named Bob Ross instead.
Well, 5 days of classes with this unknown Bob Ross in Clearwater, Florida.
Let's just blend this out like so. It'll all come together. Let it work. There.
The first day I took the class with Bob, I was so mesmerized by Bob that I couldn't paint.
Can you describe a little bit what your first encounter with Bob Ross was like? What you thought when you met this guy?
I had a positive feeling about him when I saw him.
And it turned out to be a good call. Bob eventually moved in with Walt and Annette, and now they own almost all of his paintings.
Walt, is that a Bob Ross over there?
That is a Bob Ross painting, because somebody told me that it was.
Right now, I can pretty much recognize the Bob Ross painting.
A lot of the public, they think that any painting that has a tree and a mountain must be a Bob Ross painting.
I'm really a tree and mountain type person.
They're like sure that he's the only one that's ever painted a landscape before.
There are some telltale signs as to whether or not a painting is a real Bob Ross.
Oh, Bob. He wanted no sign of people. I don't know why. He didn't like people, I guess. He touched that tree one time, one stroke. The clouds are not Bob Ross clouds.
It's like describing the taste of chocolate.
This has been labored over.
My father did have to talk to a woman once, many years ago, who had purchased a painting that was not a Bob Ross painting. She was just devastated.
Bob is such a legend and become such a big factor in people's lives.
For our social media, we have like a fancy quote on Fridays with like a nice picture, and then like a more casual quote on Wednesdays. Maybe there's a stone right here, so we'll put a little stone on. See?
There lives a little stone.
Maybe he's got a little friend named Harold.
This is Harold the Stone right here.
And like, sometimes I just sneak those in on the casual Wednesday quotes just because they make me really happy.
We are here for fans of Bob Ross. Like, if they call us, we're going to listen. And sometimes the calls go on for a very long time.
You pick up and like, there's that squirrel I was telling you about is back today. It's just nice little phone calls.
And that's what the staff at Bob Ross Inc. does.
It's 1-800-BOB-ROSS. Yay us, right?
They package and ship Bob's line of paint supplies and largely manage his modern-day image.
This lady painted Bob onto her lips, painting a painting, and then her nail is held up to his arm, and her nail has a tiny clear palette on it. I mean, this is what we want the Bob Ross makeup for.
Exactly.
Even though there hasn't been a new show in over 20 years, Bob's become a modern icon.
Is Bob Ross?
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross?
Ross.
Ross.
Ross. Guy with the hair? That round hair became like a thing he could not drop.
Let's paint in a few little happy trees there. And we're gonna put a happy little bush right down over here.
Ever since Bob Ross appeared on Twitch in 2014, he's gone viral.
A lot of times I almost had a heart attack when there was 30 seconds to go and he's starting on the big tree.
That's my director when we're getting low on time and I do something like, maybe this old tree fell down. This old tree just fell down. It was tired.
Just paint those back in real quick. No pressure. He wanted to sort of be a symbol of happiness. You know, the idea of socks and toasters and waffle makers he would have loved.
And that's all you can buy. The paintings are still off limits.
It never occurred to us to sort of change the whole concept that we're not in it to sell paintings.
We can't even explain fully what this Bob Ross thing is, you know. We're asked that all the time. We can give you numerous thoughts on that, but the sum total of it, it's Bob Ross, it's the persona.
Why do you think he's become so big in the last few years?
I don't know. You could probably answer that question better. Why are you here?
Yeah, that's a great question.
You tell me.
People come into it and they're like, oh, it's just like this guy with this afro and it's like so silly and he paints like these landscapes, whatever. And then they watch it and they're like, oh my God, what? I actually really love this. And then they've watched like 50 episodes.
I can only go back to that first day that I was in the class with him, and I feel like the whole world now is seeing what I saw that first day.
They were ecstatic. They're like, this is totally going to be an exhibit. And then they invited us out to the Smithsonian to look. It's going to be in the American history. You're so scared. The Museum of Modern American.
It's the Smithsonian National Museum of American History.
Say out loud, your work will never hang in a museum.
No.
Bob!
Well, maybe it will, but probably not the Smithsonian.
Because why, Bob?
There. Who wants to start?
Me, because I need to
You
leave
gotta leave.
earlier. Yes.
Perfect, Chucho. Okay.
So, to be... Sorry, I need to verify my voice.
No problem. 1, 2, 3, action.
Okay. So, Bob Ross was one of the most iconic painters, yes, in the history. And it's I didn't imagine the quantity of paintings that he painted. And
Yes.
well, in 1991 there were 30,000 paintings. So wow, it's magical.
Okay.
And actually, recently, people are wondering where are yes, you know, these paintings, you know, who saved. And there is an institute called Bob Ross Inc. Original, and this place saves well, a lot of his paintings, you know. Yes, and they save the paintings in boxes.
Yeah.
There, another interesting thing is that who dubbed Bob Ross? A great question. Yes. And
sorry, who what?
Who thought?
Who thought? Thought the best of think?
No, the best of teach.
Ah, who taught? Oh, okay.
Yes. 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 Ross and was a woman called Annette Kowalski. I don't remember.
Okay, okay.
She had a very strange last name, but she discovered him by accident. Yes, because there was another painter. I don't remember the name. But I don't know if a car passed through this man or an accident happened because he disappeared. So Bob Ross take his place. And yes, another thing that was mentioned in the video is that, well, obviously, with many paintings, we can expect that there are walls paintings. I don't know. Yes, exactly.
Can you repeat that part? I didn't understand that.
Yes. We can expect that with more than 30,000 paintings, some things, or yes. Some of them will be false.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
yes. Well, but there are characteristics. For example, like the way of the trees are painted.
Okay. Okay.
She mentioned that Bob Ross has a specific way to give them uh, uh, his, I don't know, touch. So yes, and finally, Ross became viral since 2014 when she appeared when he appeared at on no, on Twitch. Yes. And finally, he died by lymphoma on 1995. He was 52 years old. And yes, his paintings are alongside of other great paintings. Yes.
Okay. Are alongside very good, eh?
Yes.
Hmm.
I noticed that word.
In the video?
Yes, at the end.
Very good. Okay. So there was only two parts of the video that were blurry. Let's understand the word blurry. Okay. On the Oxford Dictionary, blurry is an adjective to describe, yes, this. Go, Chucho.
Yes, blurry, without a clear outline. Not clear. Okay.
Yes. Right? There are two parts of the video that were completely blurry in your memory. The part of Annette Kowalski, she was not his mentor. He was just the person who connected him with the broadcaster, with the television broadcaster. The studio.
Okay.
So yes, the part you said she discovered him, that's correct. But she didn't teach him. He already knew, right? Actually, Bob Ross was her teacher. It was the opposite.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it was the back story, and and Bob Ross didn't take over after the accident. That part was completely invented by you.
No, it was a joke only.
Okay, it was a joke.
No.
Okay, yeah, because that section was completely away from the video.
I created my own history.
Exactly. Yeah. You built a parallel narrative on the reason Bob Ross wanted, But no,
Yes.
that was definitely not the thing. The other painter, they never say, as far as I remember, they never say why the other painter went away. But we know that Bob Ross is there because Kowalski discovered him and she connected him with television. It's there's a you have to watch this documentary on Netflix about Bob Ross and the Kowalskis. Like, she seems like the hero in this video, but it's crazy how they control Bob Ross' life. You need to watch it. It's yes, she was the puppet master. But
We are talking about like a history of Luis Miguel.
Yes, it's a very similar story. The person that was super talented but was completely puppet mastered by other people. Jesus, it's so frustrating, man. Really, so frustrating. But anyway, that's a parenthesis. Now let's talk about linguistics. There was we need to take a difference between the word institute and institute. Okay, the word institute is not the same as company because we usually confuse them, even in Spanish, and I don't know if they can be considered synonyms in Spanish, but at least in English they are not. So an institute is an organization that has a particular purpose, especially one that is connected with education. So when you're talking about a school, a university, that places an institute.
Okay.
Right? It says also that a particular profession, because it can be, for example, I don't know, the National Institute of Arts, which is probably not considered education, it's not a school, but it's an organization of different people that conglomerates together to present exhibitions and things like that, no? Which is an example only.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So if the Institute of Massachusetts, well, that's a university. The fact is that's the difference, no?
Yes.
Research institutes, that's science. Institutes of higher education, that's school. The Institute of Chartered Accountants, that's a specific profession, and etc.
Capsule Corp on Dragon Ball is an institute.
Exactly. That was an institute.
Yes.
So when you say institute, you're talking about education or a particular profession. Now, the word INC is the abbreviation for the word incorporated, which is somewhere incorporated. And this word is used after the name of a company in the United States. It's very similar to what we call in Spanish, or in Mexico at least, SADCB.
Okay.
You know, right? Which is Sociedad Anónima de Capital Variable. Which is that specific name. Well, you know, economics. It's the taxation, the characteristic category of the organization in which it belongs according to SAT. No, that's Mexico. Yeah. Okay, well, you are more professional in macro, no? You know a lot of macroeconomics. Okay. In the small place that happens in Mexico. And in Spain, for example, the movie Monsters Inc. Remember that?
Yes.
Monsters Inc. is the short for Monsters Incorporated, which was a company that created energy for the city, right? In Spain, this movie was translated as Monster S.A. or Monstruos S.A.
Okay.
You know, which was S.A. is also the Spanish version of Inc. Which I don't know what SAA stands for. I don't remember what is SAA, but it's a very similar thing to SADCB in Mexico. Hashtag companies.
Hashtag.
So every time you see the termination Inc., remember you're talking about a company, not an institute. An institute is a school. A company is for profit, for money.
Okay.
Got it? That's about vocabulary.
Yes.
Now, let's improve some notes and take notes about the following section. There are going to be some corrections on what you said. You said the way of the trees are painted. So you were speaking about how to authenticate or how to find a Bob Ross that is truly Bob Ross, right? This precise connector is extra. Every time you say the way, you don't need a second connector. Okay, that's a mistranslation from Spanish. Okay. Second, he became popular when he appeared on Twitch. This sentence is not wrong, but this is a sentence that can get a score of B2, probably B1 in the scale of difficulty because of the vocabulary. If you want to reach C1, we should change some of the words that we have here. For example, the word become popular can be a phrasal verb or using adverbs. For example, this can be improved by using adverbs. I recommend using it. He became widely known.
Okay.
Instead of popular, which is the adverb, widely, and the verb in passive voice. No.
Yes.
It is the same. And appear can be used. You can improve it by using the phrasal verb show up.
Yes. This is show off.
This little change can make it a C1.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yes.
Interesting, huh?
Exactly. The new power. Okay.
The power of words.
Exactly.
Synonyms can really improve and make it go up. He became viral when he appeared on Twitch. Its paintings are alongside others. The way of the alongside this C1, that was a very nice. Took over. And that will be the most of it. Because the part of the at the beginning in there we were saying a lot of misfacts, but at the end there it was much better. That was the only observation I had for C1.
Okay. Well,
and you're done.
Yeah.
Great. You can go to your school. Have a very nice day. I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
Well, I'm. I will be eating while I'm.
When you're
hearing.
listening? Okay. I thought you had to leave. Okay. No problem.
In a moment, I say goodbye.
Okay. Then, who's next? Are you ready?
No.
Come on. Let's do this. So, 1, 2, 3, action.
Well, the video said, teaches something about a famous painter called Bob Ross. He was famous in the 90s. I don't know exactly how he started to be painter, but he became being famous in a program, a TV show. He replaced another painter in the TV show, and he became to be famous. He known new
New.
to this girl named Annie Kalowski, something like that. And he tried to teach her paint, but they discovered that she never could paint, so she only helped in the TV show. I don't know exactly how.
Okay.
And what? And nobody knows where the paints were. All the paint, the work that of Bob Ross were, and it was organized in a house. They have 3 paint for every paint that he make in the TV show, had 2 more after the TV show, during the TV show, and after the TV show. Before, after,
sorry again.
during.
For every what?
For
That was
every
confusing.
paint that
Okay.
he make in the TV show, he had 2 more. One after and one before the paint, the final paint or something. So these multiply the paints that he had, and your family had it organized in somewhere. And there are a lot of fake paintings or paints, but they recognized original paint for the elements that was in that. No, yes, for the elements in the painting. That is, he's not a cloud guy, he's a mountain and tree guy or person. So if one of these elements it's not there, it's not a painting of Bob Ross.
Okay.
They recognize this. I think it's the only thing that I remember.
Okay. Where are the paintings now?
I don't know if it's in a museum or I don't know. No, because if I understand correctly, he said that he doesn't want to be in a museum. So I suppose in a gallery or something. I don't know. I didn't catch this part.
Okay. Yeah, no, that part is very blurry. Very, very, very blurry, but at the beginning it's much better. Okay. You need to start with your verbs, because now, okay, you're finally using verbs in present, which is very nice. Now you are using the verb with the ending, the s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're finally doing that, which is nice. But now you need to fit it when the context is in present, because there were many things that you needed to say in past, not in present.
Okay.
You know, like you're finally changing the verb. You are not saying the verb in simple form, which is nice. But now I need you to do and make an effort on changing the verb into its corresponding time.
Okay.
For example, if you're speaking about nobody knows where all the paints were. No? So are we speaking in past or in present?
Are.
No?
Yes.
Are. No.
No, what?
Past. No, because, okay, situate yourself in the context of the video.
Nobody know.
Situate yourself in the context of the video. Are we in this moment, after what happens on the video or before what happens on the video? Or are we in the moment that the video is happening?
No.
Where are we? Exactly. Our time is laughter. So in this moment, we know where the paintings were. They were in boxes. Right here. And they now are in a museum. No? Then for us, all this is past. That's the reason you need to use your verbs in past.
Okay.
Nobody
New.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew where the paintings were.
Where?
You see? That's how you detect the time of your verb. You detect the time of the verb by the situation, by what is happening in the situation. You get it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that's number one. Now, what's the difference between paint and painting?
I suppose is paint the noun.
Yes, it is a noun, but the noun is a liquid. The liquid that you put for the color.
Yes.
So if you search paints, you're going to get this.
So this is called painting.
Exactly, the word was painting. A picture that has been painted. How do you detect that? The solution for this is by hearing the video with close attention. When you are not sure about a vocabulary, you need to start searching the word in the video. So the video can provide the answer to your question. Right? If you finish the video, watching the video, and you continue saying paints, that's because you were not processing the information in English. You need to start paying attention on the phonetics they use, the ending of the word, the final syllable of the word, to pay close attention to the small details, because this is the source to eliminate confusion. Right? During all the video, they use paintings, all the video. So after watching the video, saying paints is fundamentally from the way you are listening. That's a listening flaw. Okay? So the best way is by paying attention to the video closely. And now, similar to Chucho, we are going to work, and the reason we are here, we're going to work on the speech that correspond to a B1 or probably B2, which is intermediate, and we're going to transform it to a C1. Okay, you said for every paint that he made in the TV show, he had 2 more. No?
Yes.
Okay. We can build better speech if we use verbs that get closer to the meaning that we need to demonstrate. The word made, for example, is perfect in this situation because he literally made the painting.
Yes.
But the word had is very ambiguous. I don't know if he had them because he bought them, or because he made them, or because he created them. Like why did he have two more pictures?
Yeah.
So this particular section is very ambiguous. I don't understand that section too much.
Okay.
What we need to do is to change fundamentally the verb.
Okay.
What verb would you put here?
Again, made.
You can use the word make. You can use the word painted. You can use the word, let's go to the thesaurus. No.
Create.
Produced. Finished. Produced and finished. You see? Which the higher your synonyms, the higher the level.
Okay.
Right? When you were talking about improving your English, this so-called a higher level of English is the amount of synonyms that you master of one word in particular. So the word had was a pretty open verb that we didn't really understood as what was the context in this case, right? And that's part one. So part one is learning synonyms. Part two is also conjugating correctly. Conjugating correctly means using the correct structures handbook, the structures that you need, right? And for this one, I strongly suggest to use, for example, structure 6. No, structure 8, past before past. Right? It says over here, past before past is auxiliary had and it's used. Use past before past when it's important to give sequence to a series of actions. Right? One thing happened before another thing in the past. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Okay. What happened first in your sentence?
I suppose the first part, for every paint that he made in the TV show.
How do you know that?
It's because, no, I'm confused because he made one after, one during, and one before. One before, one during, and then in one after the TV show.
The one that is before is expressed with past before past. Right? So then that's the reason this is so ambiguous. Because you need to expand this idea, right? Let's try to expand it. For every
painting,
very good. For every painting. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You continue building.
He
Yes.
I don't know.
Why not? I mean, part one is good.
Yes.
It is.
I don't. He made
Mm-hmm.
in the TV show.
The TV show.
He had created.
He had created. Uh-huh.
Two more.
Two more. Mm-hmm. Expand the idea. One.
One after.
After.
And one.
After what? After what? It's very ambiguous.
One after. After the TV show. Or one after
the TV show is just the whole thing. In order to make it more C1, you need to be more specific. What part of the TV show are we talking about? Because the TV show is the name of the series.
Uh-huh.
What is the name of
program?
the 30 minutes?
One after the program or the...
What is the name of the 30 minutes that belong to one presentation per day?
Mm-hmm.
Episode.
Episode. Uh-huh. Chapter.
Chapter is in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another thing about advanced communication. It's very different to say TV program than TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very different to say chapter than episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which, well, I understand that you don't remember that because we saw that last classes. We talked about the differences between words that are very, 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 very similar. That only an advanced speaker can distinguish because the advanced speaker knows the specific applications of the word. Right? Chapter and episode in a big context, in the thesaurus, for example, will be the same, synonyms and antonyms. But in the real conversation, they will have small differences.
Okay.
So one after the episode, what is the verb for that TV show?
Finish.
Aired.
Okay.
One after the episode aired, and another.
Before.
Before. And that is a C1.
Okay.
Okay, it's crazy, no?
No, I had it in my mind.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing about you. You have all of this in your mind. So what you need to do now is creating this specific sentence with care and detail. It's not necessary to go fast. We have talked about it. We don't need to soltarnos, no? That's not the objective. The objective is to be very meticulous and very specific with the words that you're using.
Yes, when you are talking with Chucho, I was building the phrases in my mind, and when I have to talk, I completely blocked.
Exactly, and you concise your vocabulary to basic vocabulary. Take your time. Take your time, build it, and make it bigger.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
That's the one. So let's give a moment to Jessie because she will pass attendance. Hello, Jess.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, girl.
So, will the attendance?
Yes.
Luis?
Luis, absent.
Víctor?
Víctor, yes, pero se fue temprano.
All right. Jesús?
Chucho también.
Okay. Sophie?
Early morning.
1 and 7. Thank you. And it.
Hi, finally
Hi,
here.
it's. Good morning. Thank you.
Finally.
So, thank you, Sophie, and it's. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Have a nice day too. Jessie.
Thank you.
All right. That was the thing. That's what happens with. Think this word aired. This is a pretty intense verb. I think this is a C1 in the dictionary. Air as a verb. Opinions. TV show. Air something. To broadcast a program on the radio or on television, or to be broadcast. The show will be aired next Tuesday night. Or the program aired last week. You see? So these are very technical verb. C1 advanced. You can do this. You can do this. Cheer up. All right. Next person, Sophie. What do you remember about the video?
I think that now I understand that the two girls who speak between that they are at office are part of a Bob Ross company incorporate, but they focus on also on social media content of Bob Ross. For example, they stream episodes that were not, which Bob Ross film was aired, and she received fans comments. She still received fans comments, and the people still buy the Bob Ross products. Well, I mean, I think that actually, I don't know if I understand, but currently they just sell art products. The art products that Bob Ross used to paint. What else? Yes, actually, the paintings, some of the paintings, not all, are now in a museum of modern art, which is a very important for the American history. So Bob Ross is there now, but other paintings, the guy that I don't know who is that guy, the guy that appears at the end, that the one that have all the paintings in boxes, I think, keep with him some of the paintings. He still keeps some of the paintings, but now the other paintings are in the museum. And people also ask a lot for things because they want to buy them, but I think that there's a lot of products of Bob Ross, but that is the paintings are not available for public. So, and also I remember that when they asked the girls why Bob Ross was very famous or very popular, they also mentioned that it's because he's a happiness symbol. He was a happiness symbol, and he also has a specific touch in his paintings, and that is something that it's mentioned very well, I think, because they say that they can identify if a painting is of Bob Ross or not, because he had an specific details, nature details, we can say, because he people. So if you if you see a little person or I don't know something like that in a painting, it's not a Bob Ross painting.
Exactly. They mentioned specifically that. Exactly.
Yes. I think that's it.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, the extra ideas that I have.
The extra ideas that you have?
Yeah, because I now I understand that, because I think that this video, the first time I saw it was very confused for me, you know. I didn't understand the idea. I thought that the painting, I don't know if you remember, but I am very confused. But now I understand this.
Yeah, the second time we watch it, it's much more clear. But okay, there was only one detail that was blurry: the part of the guy holding the pictures. This guy over here. This guy over here, no?
Yes.
So the reason of this particular video is him. He is actually a worker for the Times. What's the name of this newspaper? Is the New York Times? Yeah, the New York Times. And this guy who works in the New York Times wanted to buy a painting for his brother.
Left onto McLaren Road.
The most iconic landscape painting.
Somewhere.
The joy.
1,000. It's been written yet.
There we go.
But if you want to buy a Bob Ross, you can't. And that doesn't mean people haven't tried. It doesn't make sense. In 1990, so in this, you couldn't buy one. Buy one.
Aaron Bird, New York Times journalist. And he wanted to buy a Bob Ross for his brother's birthday. So he started researching, and it came across an interesting story. There was nowhere to be found. The paintings were nowhere. So he started as a journalist to journal, no? To make an investigation on where they are. And the result was this video. You see?
Okay.
That's
interesting. And at the end, he could
keep one. He could keep one. No.
He could get up the campaign.
He couldn't.
No.
Look at this.
Bob! Well, maybe it will, but probably not this morning. Because why, Bob?
Aaron was not able to buy a painting. But he was able to hold some.
Okay.
You see? That's the story. That's what happened to Aaron. Poor Aaron.
He just... Okay.
He just what? Tell me.
Touched the paintings.
Exactly. He just touched the paintings. That was it. Mm-hmm. Right? So that was the thing about the story. That part was blurry
Okay.
Right? The word reachable means that people cannot reach, alcanzar. Open to.
Okay.
Open to sell. And that will be the C1 thing. And another thing for the public, another name for the public is better to use something like everyone. Everyone is a very good word in this case. Audiences in plural. Audiences and the public. Synonyms that can help you express your idea better.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
And there you have it, girl. This was the activity.
Okay.
Did you take your notes?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, we finished for today.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
All right. Have a very good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
You too. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.